And welcome back. So running active is of course fun and can potentially reduce the latency through the individual devices themselves, as there's simply less load on each device. But as you know, it doesn't actually increase the capacity of our application delivery system itself, as each device can really only run at the maximum 50% capacity, as it has to be able to handle the full load of its peer as well. So in this video, we'll have some fun and take the HA pair we just created and scale it out to create a cluster of 3 devices. So first, as we did with the other 2 devices, let's go ahead and add the appropriate information to the third device object. We've pre-configured the third device with its base configuration as well. So we can go ahead and change the device name to something unique, in this case to match the host name. And we can go configure our HA channels to match those of the peers. So for config sync, we use the HA network, the dedicated HA network. For network failover, we use the dedicated HA network. And for redundancy, the management address. And finally, for mirroring, we use the dedicated HA network as well as the internal address. So now that this device object is configured with all its endpoints, we should be able to reach it from the cluster. So we'll go ahead to device trust, peer list again, and add this third device. As you can see, we properly discovered the third device, and we go ahead and add it to the device trust. Now that it's been added to the device trust, we can go use it in our device failover group, which is the group that actually handles the traffic. Our final step, we'll go ahead and add it to the device failover group. As you can see, the configuration is syncing across the cluster. As you can see, we created a cluster of 3 devices now, and should be running active, standby. So active, and standby. So now we can run these 2 active devices at their full capacity, and therefore increasing the capacity of our entire application delivery system. And if we wanted to run active, we could just go repeat the exercise in the previous video and carve off some applications and put them into another traffic group. So let's go do that. First, we will go create another traffic group, appropriately named traffic group 3. And we'll prefer it start off on big IP3. And now, since we're using SNAT AutoMap, we should go ahead and create some dedicated self IPs that can float around with this traffic group. So we'll go to network, self IPs, create one for traffic group 3. Use the next one down. Assign it to our internal network, and finally assign it to traffic group 3. And finally, we can go add some virtual services to this. So we'll go to our virtual address list. We'll choose the next virtual down. And assign it to traffic group 3. So now our virtual service associated with this address can float around with traffic group 3. So as you can see, we have 3 traffic groups. Traffic group 1 and 3 are currently running on big IP3, and traffic group 2 is currently running on big IP2. Let's go ahead and finally fail over traffic group 1 back to big IP1. And now we're running in an active state with traffic group 1 running on active on big IP1, traffic group 2 active on big IP2, and traffic group 3 active on big IP3. So we're running active, or an all active cluster. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you very much for joining.